Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, Tuesday morning, May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Boy, oh boy, that was a terrible intro. Let's try saying it again. Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today. For Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. It is May 4th. May the 4th be with you here on PWR today. Good morning, Linda.
Good morning. Yes, another holiday.
Yep, and not the
with you.
And not the cool kind like Madonna. Holiday. Holiday. Sorry, every time I sing it, I sing the Trolls version. I can't help myself. So, with Justin Timberlake singing in a high falsetto. But May the 4th be with you. It's, a unofficial holiday that's become pretty official over the last 10 years or so with the resurgence of Star Wars. Yeah, May the 4th be with you.
Absolutely.
We are talking wrestling. We are talking pretty much anything we want to, but let's talk about our sponsor. Our sponsor, Linda Kay, is who again?
Collar and Elbow, giving you the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashions. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com. Click on the store. Lots of men's fashions, ladies' fashions, some hats and stickers. Got the spring sale going on. Make sure to check it out. Some of my favorites right now are the Collar and Elbow New Generation shirts or the Collar and Elbow Federation shirts. Now that's looking like WWF back in the day, the New Generation Federation. So those are actually on sale.
Good timing
right
with the old school throwback.
Right. So not only are there lots of shirts on sale, but to save some more money, make sure to use promo code Linda K. That's LINDAKAY to save yourself 10% on your order.
Nice. collarandelbowbrand.com. Get your gear. I seem to be, I don't know why, but I seem to be throwing all my money at the Buenos Hermanos. Those are the shirts that kind of land for me. The only thing I have that I don't think is theirs, I don't think, no, I did the Shad Gaspert shirt. I did the Mirror hoodie, and I've got the Irish Whip. I love my Irish Whip t-shirt as well, but love me some Buenos Hermanos.
There's also some for the ladies, and of course we can wear the Buenos Hermanos shirts too, but there's some Good Sisters t-shirts out there as well. Make sure to check that out.
I used to run into a bunch of Good Sisters back when I was doing cable, way back on, in the Ot 4s and Ot 5s. I used to run into a couple Good Sisters every Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday.
There you go.
I always used to hook it up down at the old fish market, get myself a grilled cheeseburger. So. Ooh, I know, right? It was weird ordering it through a bulletproof glass. But other than that, I love me the fish market. Let us talk a little bit of news. Now, Linda Kay, you've known me long enough now. Listeners have been listening to me long enough. In whatever iteration you found Pro Wrestling Report, PWR Today, hell, Sudden Impact, whatever we've done. You know that my main draw has always been to wrestling, the music, the entertainment part of it.
Absolutely.
Jim Johnston. You remember the name Jim Johnston, right?
Of course.
Of course, Jim Johnston, the real composer of the Attitude Era. He's the one that made the Stone Cold Steve Austin music. He's the one that wrote No Chance in Hell. Matter of fact, I used to love DJing at Romines back in the day when we were a blast zone and being able to mix No Chance in Hell with a little bit of Kane. No chance, Dan. No chance, Dan. Oh, yeah, I used to love that stuff. It was good stuff. But Jim Johnston did an interview with Chris Van Vliet, and there is talk. Jim Johnston might be getting offered a chance possibly to go to the Hall of Fame. Your thoughts on Jim Johnston being in the WWE Hall of Fame?
That would be well deserved. I mean, if you are a wrestling fan, or in particular a WWF, WWE fan, you know the value that Jim Johnston has given to the industry. As you said a little bit ago, the music, the entrances, the fanfare, that's what we love as fans. Of course, the matches, of course. But in particular for me, especially events like WrestleMania, what I honestly look most forward to are those entrances and hearing the music. And it just brings back so much memory, so much feeling, especially that Attitude Era, because that was my prime time.
Generation X.
Watching
you smell what the Rock is cooking. I'm an ass man.
Yes. So that the CDs are stashed somewhere in my belongings, but
Stashed.
so
I got those in a digital format now. They're still in my rotation.
Well, yeah, I definitely, in the digital world, I frequently listen to the theme songs. It's part of it for us. And if he does get into the WWE Hall of Fame, it would be well deserved. And I think pretty much every wrestling
would he
fan
write his
would
own
agree.
entrance theme?
Why not? Or it would probably be something that we would recognize, like maybe one of the classic WrestleMania theme songs.
I wonder if he was working back in the day. We'll have to do the research of he's a man, such a man, he's a real. Love that song. Do you know the wrestler?
Man's man.
I'll give you a hint. He wore a flannel. Yes. Wore a flannel, but he was English. He was an English lumberjack. He's a man. I miss Damian Nelson. We used to sing that while we were doing the show way back in the day. Such a man. I mean, it didn't fit because, William Regal is obviously a proper Englishman, and he's, coming out to a lumberjack song. So.
Oh, yeah. Let's see. There's memories.
Good memories. I mean, the Jericho break the walls down. I mean, oh, man. So, a couple highlights from the interview with Chris Van Vliet. He's not sure he would accept it. Would it be great to be honored? Yes, of course. But at the same time, it'd be uncomfortable. There's people there that I don't want to see and don't want to shake their hand. But it's not a big aspect of his life right now. And, his post WWE life is he gets to write whatever he wants now instead of being told what to write. Now, he is thrown back a little bit that AEW didn't ever contact him. He figured that, when AEW went ahead and heard that Vince had fired Jim Johnston, wow, we should probably pick up that guy today. Let's get him in the room now and start writing songs for. No, didn't happen. So he's absolutely happy doing what he does now. Like I said, I personally want to see him in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, at least right now, he's happy doing his own thing, and I don't think it'll necessarily be the end of Jim Johnston in the wrestling.
It's funny you say the end, and I think you did that on purpose. That's why we talked before we go on the air. The final song, the end song that he wrote for WWE before he left was for a talent by the name of Baron Corbin, The End of Days. He says, and I felt that song so much because I knew that I was on my way out, and The End of Days for Baron Corbin was perfect. He said he wrote No Chance in Hell when he was just really pissed off at Vince. And, it's ironic because he talks about his handshake deal with the WWE. I don't know if you knew this or not, Linda, but for the first 15 years, Jim Johnston was not on a contract. It was a handshake deal. He could get up and walk away at any second.
Wow. Yeah, that's news to me, but that's amazing how long he was with WWE.
It's just weird how the wrestling business kind of works, and I think, for all the bad stuff that we say about Vince, right? Vince is the evil corporate monster and, everybody can run. There's a lot of great stuff to say about Vince too. Vince McMahon, from what we hear and from what we read, can be a little trusting sometimes. Linda, I know you haven't got to it yet, but I do got to drop this bit. This is not like it's a spoiler. This is part of history, but do you know that the day that Randy Macho Man Savage debuted in WCW, he was supposed to be doing commentary on Raw that night?
Do tell.
He literally left. And Vince is looking around for him. Hey, where's Randy? We're supposed to get ready for the show. He left to WCW.
Interesting.
He had trusted him to be there to work, and he was already out of a contract, and he had thought that he would be there to do the job. So, again, I don't want to give too much away for the A&E documentary on Randy Macho Man Savage, but wow. Hey, speaking of documentaries in WWE, and I kind of did that on purpose, let's segue into how you and I both said we're going to do two dudes today.
Yes.
Sorry if I came a little early on that one, but
yes,
we watched.
Yes.
We watched
documentary, right?
Yes, we watched Two Dudes with Attitudes on the Peacock Network. It was WWE Chronicles, the story of Shawn Michaels and Diesel, Big Daddy Cool. Linda, you saw it. I saw it. Tell me your thoughts before we go into a couple pieces of it.
I absolutely loved it. Now, Kevin Nash is a friend of this
Oh,
show and a friend of
definitely.
ours, so I may be biased and, really liking this documentary and having more interest in it. But growing up during that time, seeing the birth of two dudes with attitudes, but now getting the backstory about how it all came about. And what I loved most about it was just learning how much they learned from one another, how much they
Yes.
trusted each other, how
Yes.
much they depended on each other, and how they each helped each other elevate themselves into becoming bigger champions, but also how they've just remained being friends. I mean, still like best friends. And, just seeing all that footage. And anytime, we've been talking about these documentaries have been coming out, it always brings back memories, just like the music. But anything during that time, as I was becoming a teenager and watching wrestling, I've always been watching wrestling growing up. My parents did, and I always have since day one ish. But getting to really see this as a teenager and just getting to learn the industry, and now as an adult, really understanding the backings behind everything, what was happening behind the scenes, and really getting to understand not just storylines, but the industry itself and the makings of pro wrestling, and just the birth of that particular piece of WWF. We had Bruce Pritchard on there saying how at that time, or maybe it was one of the writers, or one of the journalists saying how at that moment in time, WWF was kind of struggling, not really sure what their identity was, really what
Right. They didn't
direction
say
they were
they
going.
didn't know if they were able to get out of the 80s or what was the 90s going to be like. Yeah, they were struggling.
Yeah, but you got Big Daddy Cool Diesel and the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, carrying things. I mean, not just the belts, but just helping carry and move the stories, just the industry along. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a little bit. Now, I knew of Kevin Nash's background at WCW, again, being a WCW guy. And before we even got to know Kevin Nash, I was a Kevin Nash guy. So I knew of his history as, Master Blaster and the Great and Powerful Oz and Vinny Vegas and the Diamond Mine, with Diamond Dallas Page. And I mean, I knew of his history. How he got to WWF, I did not know. Shawn was watching WCW Saturday night and said, well, this guy's got something. I like his look. I think he could do something, and wanted a bodyguard, and he felt like nobody in the locker room would be able to stick up for him. Shawn came off to me, and this is not a bad thing at all. Shawn came off to me as a loner that was looking for a friend, looking for somebody to look out for him, and that's kind of how it came off to me. And he found that in Kevin Nash, because Kevin literally said when he got to WWF, look, you said, what was that again? And then Shawn tells him something to the effect of, you being with me, I'm not really well liked around here. I don't know how that's going to work for you and my rub off. And he goes, I got your back.
Yep.
Perfect. Absolutely perfect. They became an indomitable team. Here's another thing I did not know, or maybe forgot to know. Kevin Nash / Big Daddy Cool Diesel won the championship before Shawn won his first. That I did not know. And you could see that it threw him back a little bit. Look, I've been working this hard, and this dude came in and took the belt. Wow. Okay.
Yeah,
That was that caught me off guard.
Yeah. Shawn's saying, like, didn't I have anything to do with that? Or I'm feeling kind of like that was my shot, but Diesel got it. But I'm happy for him, but I'm also still a little confused. Or yeah.
Do you know what Shawn Michaels came off to me like? We're dealing with a situation kind of like that right now here in the greater Fox Valley, Wisconsin sports world. Shawn Michaels came off a little bit like Aaron Rodgers to me.
Oh. In that
here's
particular
how.
moment. Okay, you tell me.
Yeah, here's how. Shawn Michaels felt like he was underappreciated. Maybe he had a chip on his shoulder. Aaron Rodgers, as you all know, and we don't want to go too deep into football again, but we could all day if we had to. Aaron Rodgers has had a chip on his shoulder ever since high school, ever since college, ever since the NFL draft, ever since they drafted Jordan Love, and now wants out of Green Bay, right? Shawn Michaels has had a chip on his shoulder since he was wrestling, since nobody wanted to go over or let him as a singles wrestler go over on them. So Shawn had to have all these quirky finishes, DQs, and all this other stuff. And then Kevin came in, and he finally started getting these clean pins and these clean wins. So honestly, Shawn Michaels and Aaron Rodgers, I see it there. They've always had the chip, and they've had to work harder. Look, nobody outworks Aaron Rodgers nor Shawn Michaels, right? These guys are the best at what they do, regardless of their size, regardless of their, bring up, best in the business, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's funny how current events can really relate.
Yeah, and you notice something else too, current events wise. You know, it's something that Shawn and Diesel did that maybe AJ and Omos did.
Yes, I saw AJ Styles get up on Omos's shoulders to jump off and go for the pin. And with it being still fresh in my mind from watching Two Dudes with Attitudes, I was like, we just saw that.
Right.
In the premiere yesterday or on Sunday. I'm like, wait, is that a coincidence or just another way to really make AJ and Omos shine in their return?
Yeah.
And remind everyone, hey, these are our Raw Tag Team Champions that just won at WrestleMania. Let's do something. Really,
and we'll get into Raw in just a second because there's not much to talk about. We just talked about a third of it right there. I mean, seriously, but
you see the influence of what Shawn and Diesel had. I mean, you see that with numerous times, a lot of guys that have the big bodyguard that may not speak a word in the very beginning, but later, once they get that mic, once they get to show themselves in the ring, you're like, holy crap, he's a star.
Yeah. To be honest, it was kind of funny to hear Shawn mention it too. And again, I think he's all over it and whatever, but he said he was kind of pissed off that Kevin and Scott were both leaving for WCW when he helped get them up and over.
Yeah. Feel that there's still some resentment, otherwise they wouldn't have been mentioned.
Right. So, but I mean, he's obviously over it, and he's It was also funny too. Again, we've heard Bruce Pritchett mention it at points before, but he never really said out loud. You know what? In hindsight, that day, I absolutely hated the curtain call. Disrespectful to the business. Nowadays, I mean, it is what it is. But okay. Well, hey,
highly recommend everyone to see it if you have not yet.
That was Two Dudes with Attitudes. That's on Peacock, exclusively on the Peacock. So go ahead and check that out. Let's talk Raw from last night. Like I said, we mentioned about a third of Raw just now with the Raw Tag Team Champions showing up. They defeated the New Day, and they did not become the 12-time Tag Team Champions. While we have the three-way match for the WWE Championship on the Raw brand, we got a coin flip, which was obviously not real, but Braun Strowman took on Bobby Lashley. Interference due to Drew McIntyre. They go after each other. Hey, I bet you they're going to have Drew and Bobby next week just to show each of them going after each other. Oh, look at that. Coming up next week, it's Drew and Bobby. We didn't already have that match. This story got stale very fast.
Yeah, I mean, last week we were just talking about, or 2 weeks ago, I think all of us kind of thought, hey, you know what? The addition of Braun Strowman, not so bad with this one. Not so bad, just because there was a lot of steam and it was putting Braun in another light from the shadows, or taking him out of the shadows with that Shane McMahon storyline. But coin flip.
What happens in 1 week? And look, here, this is not against MVP at all, but how many times was he on TV last night? How many times? How many segments? 5, 6?
Like the COVID area, he's helping.
Right, but I mean, he did 2 separate backstage interviews. Why? We didn't learn everything we needed from the first one?
It's a 3-hour show.
This is not the SS Minnow, okay? We don't need a 3-hour tour of Bobby Lashley and MVP.
Well, hey, I will say that we did get some extra time on Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander, though. So I'm liking that.
Brand new.
I know they're not with Hurt Business anymore, but I did like that. I will say, kind of relating to Hurt Business.
Yep, that is brand new. So Cedric Alexander, looking to go out on his own, wants nothing to do with Shelton Benjamin. Somebody better call his mama and have Shelton's mama come in and save the day. I absolutely love the Charlotte Flair Sonya Deville interaction, with the exception of Sonya doesn't look like she's in on it. It looks like Charlotte's bullying her, and that comes off a little weird to me.
Yeah, considering it came off as Sonya being the bad person, the bad girl in the whole like WWE officials.
Which she at one point said she's equal to Adam Pearce. That
right.
I've never heard before.
Right. But then, as you just said, we have Charlotte talking over her, and what I was gonna think was gonna happen right there is I was picturing Sonya letting Charlotte know she cannot join in a triple threat match for the title at WrestleMania Backlash, and I thought at that point Charlotte was gonna attack Sonya and therefore attacked a WWE official once again, but instead she got her wish, and I'm like, okay.
Yeah. My girl Ripley comes out calling shenanigans, as always. Asuka came out with some braids, a little bit different look there. She had that part of her head braided, and then it became a brouhaha. It's going to be a triple threat now. The women's and the men's are triple threats at WrestleMania Backlash.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, they could put a stipulation in to at least differentiate the matches a little bit. There's still 2 weeks, but
I don't know. I gotta see both champions come out of there. What's the point? I mean, if any champion loses, it would be Bobby, because Bobby had the belt before WrestleMania. You do not give Ripley the belt at WrestleMania and then have her lose it at the next pay-per-view when she debuted on the brand.
Right. She hasn't really had much of a chance to really show her strength,
her Ripley-ness.
You're right. I mean, she really has not, at least on Monday Night Raw. And again, that could be, she can be pretty fresh to a lot of the viewers. So we got to see that build. I mean, she doesn't necessarily have to defend her title, the weeks leading up, but all she's really done is just come out and talk and had a couple of matches, but just nothing really that makes her stand out more to really still prove why she won.
She needs to be the most Ripley that's ever Ripleyed upon her Ripley-ness. She needs to be that nightmare. Hey, I got to ask you a question. What did you think? This is actually part 2 of what I enjoyed. These slow-mos of the tomatoes. One got Miz dead in the face. One tomato got Johnny Drip Drip right in the drip drip.
I actually had
was fantastic.
That was great. I'm glad they caught that, and that was some good.
What's Morrison's new nickname? Johnny Moist or something like that?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
Yeah, he said Johnny Moist. Go back and watch it. He called himself Johnny Moist or something like that.
I guess that goes along with Drip Drip.
I guess. Johnny Moist Drip Drip. Gross. Damian Priest still coming off like a star, and Miz is carrying this as well. He's helping the young kid Priest along, and you know what? You gotta appreciate Miz, even though it was Morrison's match. You gotta appreciate the Miz. He is bringing this along. I still don't understand what is going on with Morrison or Drip Drip or
Moist.
John Morrison or Moist Johnny or whatever he's calling himself. Moist Johnny.
Well, I mean, Maurice is back too, so it's like she's on 1 week and then John and then or back and forth. I don't know. I mean, right now it's obviously this feud is to help put over Damian Priest, but I don't know. I want to see either Miz and Morrison back as a strong tag team back, as strong tag team contenders again, or let's just have each of
break them up. Let John Morrison go out and earn his singles ride.
Yeah, why not?
Let's go backstage.
Together, but why not?
Let's go backstage and talk about Lince and Metalik. We've got a very thorny situation coming up with Angel Garza walking around with a rose. See what I did there? Very thorny. Drew Gulak yells and stops him now. Angel Garza and Drew Gulak, formerly of the 24/7 Chasing Our Truth Around situation, actually getting their own match on Raw. This is a good thing and a bad thing. It's good because it's different and they get out there and work. Bad, they need it because we couldn't have MVP for a 7th segment.
We also got to see the Rose being utilized as Angel Garza said he would backstage.
Yeah, yikes. Like I said, that's very thorny. He's going to need some preparation H.
Some Tux medicated pads?
He's going to need medicated pads on his culo, if you will. Thank you.
It was great. It was great to see a different match.
Wait, it was great to see the Rose go up the culo?
No. Just great to see a different match and to see, just kind of like seeing Humberto Carrillo being used in a different light. Because again, these were the guys that
both have to concentrate to pronounce his name. Humberto.
But, it's nice to see these guys out of the whole 24/7 chase, which still unsure where R-Truth is, him, the Old Spice guy. I want to see the title back. I mean, a lot of what made Monday Night Raw fun and interesting was the R-Truth segment, or were the R-Truth segments. So,
hey, let's talk about Riker and Elias sitting in back trying to get New Day back again for the tomatoes and accidentally hitting Randy Orton. It was great to watch Randy wipe the tomato off his face. Hey, bro. What's up, Randy?
Hey, Randy.
I don't care. It's the thing I look forward to right now is just RK Bro. That's my thing. And it's pretty sad state of affairs that's the thing I'm going for. But RK Bro took on Elias and Jackson Riker, and they are 2-0. My kids love the birds flying out of the flippers, or the sandals, the flip-flops.
Flippers?
Yeah, the flippers. Yeah. That is...
I love their interaction. I love how Randy Orton has to zip his lip or motion that to get...
Takes the key.
Or to stop. Yes, that was the little extra bonus of the segment. Yeah, I'm digging them. I like it.
Snakeskin speedos. Yeah.
Zip it.
Debut on the Raw brand, Mansoor. We've seen him on the Saudi Arabia shows. We've seen him in, the greatest Royal Rumbles ever, those shows, coming from the Middle East. And he took on Sheamus. Winner by disqualification, Sheamus. Now, Carrillo still going after Sheamus, but new talent on Raw.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, but it's nice to see some fresh faces, and in addition to some new feuds, new matches on Raw last night. I like that. I mean, he didn't really get a fair shot, but the match itself wasn't so bad. Right. I was liking it.
Hey, speaking of fresh faces or returning face, she wears a lot of red, and she was on a very sexy-looking sports car. Eva Marie coming back. It's the Evolution.
I like it. I know that there were rumors swirling around of her possibly coming back, and I wasn't expecting to see that promo for her, but I like it. It surprised me a little bit because I was picturing her coming back as a heel, and just because her character before was very into herself. And
the last time that we saw Eva Marie, she had that voiceover that would come on.
With the wardrobe malfunctions every time.
Right. But that voiceover, I swear to you, was Mr. Grouper from the Bubble Guppies.
I'll have to look into that.
Kids, take a look at it. Parents of kids, go listen to it. I'm telling you, it was the voice guy that does Mr. Grouper. Hey, kids, what time is it? It's time for lunch. What time? Never mind. It's a Nickelodeon show. Trust me.
Gotcha. But looks like she's, based off that promo, going to be a face and one that is going to be out to help others. I mean, they're calling it the Evolution, but I suppose that it's better that they go this angle with her, because otherwise it would be kind of like the whole Carmella comeback. Right. I feel just both very
and that Carmella
sexual
thing and sommelier. She doesn't even have the sommelier anymore.
I know.
It's done.
That Nia Jax stole him. How dare her?
Yeah. Hey, and Nia Jax in a match, Shayna Baszler in a match with Lana. Looks like the Raw Women's Tag Team Champions, or the both Tag Team Champions, at least got a singles win again. Mm-hmm. But, there is SmackDown this Friday, so.
Yes. But hey, it was a victory for the champs, so it's more.
Finally, the main event, it was going to be Braun versus Bobby. The winner, Bobby Lashley. After the bell, Drew entered and immediately leveled Lashley with the big Claymore kick. Then Drew waited in the corner and delivered a second Claymore to Strowman. Again, next week, Drew McIntyre, Bobby Lashley, just because we have to have one more pairing before we get to the pay-per-view.
Well, I was anticipating an appearance or interference, if you will, from Mace and TBar.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get
Where were
that. Maybe they were sick. I don't know.
Maybe they weren't allowed on the bus without their masks.
Yes. Maybe that.
I mean, that's probably as legitimate as anything else we can come up with.
I don't know. I think we, at least all of us on the show here, are digging the unmasking of TBar and Mace, just because
Dio Madden and Dominic Dijakovic.
So I don't know. Maybe there's just maybe they were supposed to, but for one reason or another couldn't make it. But I still feel like they have a big part in this whole triple threat match. We got the go home show next week on Raw, but maybe they'll make an appearance at the actual pay-per-view.
Maybe, who knows? But tomorrow, making an appearance on PWR today will be the man they call Matthew Thomas, and he's going to talk to us about his Matthew Thomas's Matthew to Watch. Again, probably the dumbest thing I've ever heard, and it is awesome. I love it. But he will talk to us about his Matthew to Watch. We will also be talking about NXT as well and getting you ready for AEW on Wednesday night. So, all right. Well, for Linda Kay, I'm the man they call Meathead. Hey, thanks for stopping by. So long, everyone.